friends. We're back here in the Sports Lounge. And Drew Amon, have you ever faked it before?
Depending on it, and yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
The New York Giants, they have faked it many times, as you can see. They faked it twice. And one guy, he just stayed down because why not? Yeah. That potent Rams offense.
Potent.
And now the NFL, they do not like this, obviously, guys, faking injuries to stop the clock. Are they valid in this argument? Is this a little gamesmanship here?
It's kind of a little bit dirty. I don't want to get. Ow!
Okay, Dustin, we need a guy. We need a backup guy.
I think it is
Stack
ruptured my Achilles.
Stack and you sit.
Definitely feels like Achilles. Oh God.
What is the NFL going to do about it?
This isn't good.
What is the NFL going to do about it?
Just
because
keep going without me.
If Drew here doesn't say that, oh, my Achilles.
How are we not going to commercial right now?
Because I'm talking.
In pain.
To go to commercial, we'd have to have commercial.
Right.
First one.
Right. So, as long as Drew says, "Hey, I didn't get hurt,"
Oh wait, this isn't stopping the show.
then,
You're good?
Then
Yeah, no, I feel good.
Then what is the NFL? What is the NFL going to do about it? Either they can't enforce something that they don't know for sure happened.
Yeah, that's my exact theory too. Just like in last college football season when Cal did it against Oregon's offense, they're screaming they're faking it. And it's like, well, probably, but I mean, do you want to be the one coach that gets thrown to the wolves when it turns out the kid actually, had a slight tear in his knee or something like that? I mean, there's no way you can enforce. It's kind of like driving around in a parking lot and they have a stop sign in a parking lot and you run through it. Like, what are you going to do about it? The cops don't enforce, parking lot stop signs or speed limits.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to enforce. It's going to be one of those things where there's going to be kind of an honor system, where I don't know if that will ever get established, but I think maybe there comes a time where this type of thing isn't going to happen. So the Giants do this all the time. By the way, I could swear just in past history that there's been instances where they've been tied to it.
During
That
the
was the
championship game?
Jets.
No.
Oh,
Vikings.
yes, they had
signals.
the headphones bugged, and that's why
41-0.
Dante Culpepper couldn't complete a pass.
Because there was a guy always on the end that would always get the snap count just right. He'd always get that.
I'll put it
That's
this
just
way:
good
there's
scouting.
enough cheating in professional sports because so much money's involved that if it goes to the honor system, then I don't think things will change very
Yeah.
much.
Well,
Speaking of
my
cheating,
Achilles feels so much better already. Knights of Columbus that hurt.
speaking of cheating, wasn't that kind of funny earlier this year when the Blue Jays had that whole sign stealing thing in center field?
Maybe
and
you
they're
should
like,
win more
"We
games."
didn't do it. We didn't."
That was kind of funny. But mysterious man in a white shirt.
I'm glad they can pick out the white shirt because they get so many people at their games.
Yep.
They can see 400 feet away. Oh, yeah, fastball.
Like he just goes like this. Fastball.
Yeah.
He just goes like this. Curveball.
Exactly. In that same game, Michael Boley returns a touchdown off a fumble, proceeds to throw it at the what he thinks is the stands, which why not? Because you're excited, you just scored. Why not throw the ball as hard as you can? Hits the guy in the face, ricochets, hits the other guy in the back of the head.
Bad thrower, unfortunately. He's the third string emergency quarterback, too. So they could be in trouble if Eli and guy from Fresno State, David Carr, go down. Then they could be in a lot of trouble. I don't even know if David Carr's still with New York. But
They had that fat quarterback, that Jared.
Jared
the
hefty
Yes.
lefty.
Yes.
I forgot about that guy.
Yes.
But yeah, just a general rule of thumb: don't rifle the football into the stands or towards the wall or at a cheerleader. Go up there and grab the pom poms or Sharpie, whatever.
I have questions that his throw hit both of those guys. Like,
Okay.
there had to have been a second passer.
There was.
Did we investigate the grassy knoll?
Didn't his head go back into the left?
Back and to the left.
Yeah, so
Oliver
it doesn't
Stone
make
would be proud.
it doesn't make
A
sense.
general rule
with what happened.
when talking about assassinations of presidents that Charlie brought up. Do you know what I'm talking about here?
General rule.
As far as making fun of it?
Enlighten me.
No,
Go to
I
Charlie.
do.
Go to
I'll
Charlie on
let
this
you
one.
explain. Do you want me to
can do
explain?
it.
Assassination.
I don't
Corner.
remember. This was a comedian that said it. So if you're really mad, find the guy on YouTube and send it to him. Long story short, it was a comedian and he made fun of JFK dying, and obviously no one in the crowd even remotely found it funny. And he was like, "Oh, it didn't. It's the 50 years rule. If it hasn't been 50 years, you can't make fun of it." and people kind of laugh. And then he made a joke about Abraham Lincoln dying, and everyone cheesed out laughing and dying. I didn't think it was that. I don't know. Maybe it was just a strange crowd. But according to some comedian, if it's been 50 years since a president's been assassinated, then I guess it's okay to make fun of it. Then.
It's been 48. I mean, if we can't move on, too soon.
I think it's a case where I put the rule as everybody has to be dead that was alive. during
Everybody that was
incident.
alive. Oh, okay.
So it's because Abraham Lincoln, obviously okay. Pearl Harbor, probably a pretty significant deal. They say, oh, they Pearl Harbored the guy. 9/11, it's kind of a fresh wound 10 years later.
It'll be a long time
we
till
won't
someone
go there.
uses a joke.
I
and
would
people
take that
laugh.
pretty easy with the 9/11 one.
I would, but that's our Pearl Harbor as far as national events.
People are going to try making the jokes, regardless of the 50-year rule or not.
And when we're old and gray, maybe that becomes something that people talk about, and we're like,
And
well,
we'll be the old guys talking about those horrible kids with baggy
Yep.
pants and loud music, and if they just have respect like we did when we
I
were
don't
kids.
think people will be wearing pants that much longer.
Oh yeah, we'll be wearing like these Polytechnic suits.
We're a tie.
Everyone will have a
Or
onesie.
Tyler,
It'll be
it's
like pajamas, but really high tech.
I agree. Yep, exactly.
Even with a little feet thing on bottom.
Okay, we show this picture now of a Indianapolis Colts fan, young kid, obviously distraught at the entire situation because 2 years ago when he was sucking down a bottle, they were good, and he's got a ton of experience here with the Colts. So just talk this kid off the ledge. It will be better.
I'm talking him off the ledge right now. You should be happy. You should be. If you're a Colts fan, you should be happy that this team is going to stink this year.
What if
You
they
should
get
be
this-
happy that they're going to be 2-14, 3-13.
What if they get the second pick?
You need to hope and pray that that you grind this out 1-15, get that number 1 pick, get the franchise quarterback for the next
Bring in
15
Ryan
years.
Leaf
This is
if you
a
have
smart.
to.
This is a smart franchise organizational decision. If you're Caldwell, right?
Yep.
If you're Caldwell, you throw this season any way you can, not deliberately.
And
They don't have to try to throw
There's
it.
only one way they can.
yeah.
By bringing in a quarterback who's already said he wants to play quarterback for the
Jeff
Colts.
George.
Jeff George. And he says he can come in and learn the offense in like 3 days.
I'm
I
sure he
agree,
could
bring him
learn
in.
it in 3 days.
Bring
I
him in.
think I just want to see the results of what happens then.
Because he
agree,
is
bring
so
him in.
old and gray, and I would love to see it because he's awful.
Probably
you
still
know,
has a rocket arm though.
everyone says, no, we are not gonna, bomb our season on purpose to get the number 1 pick. I think some teams are truthful when they do that, but if the Colts are willing to throw a perfect regular season and undefeated Super Bowl under the bus, like they did a couple years ago, I think they'll probably be willing to say, I think we want a new quarterback for the future.
Every franchise needs to stink once, like every decade, with the way the NFL is now. It's just you have to. Like, believe it or not, the Patriots are going to have a year where they stink. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to every other team in the NFL. This is Indy's year.
I don't think the NFL has as much throwing at the end of the season. Now the NBA, that is a different game.
Now, that's why they had to do the lottery
They're playing
thing
for
to try
they're,
to curtail people.
they're playing for
from
ping
doing
pong
that.
balls at that
They
point.
fix the lottery so they don't fix the games.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not any. No, yeah, the NBA lottery's not any better than professional boxing.
Let's see. The Knicks are bad. Patrick Ewing's out there. We'll give them the first pick.
Yeah.
How
Michael Jordan's the president of the Wizards. Oh, who had the first pick in the draft that year? That they competed.
How the Bulls got Derrick Rose is beyond me. They were a decent team before that, but my God. Thank you.
Chicago.
Thank you for that. Greg Gumbel, here we go to Chicago.
Chicago.
Finally, the Florida Marlins, a great baseball organization in every way, moving to a new stadium next year, and they have a new logo. I think it kind of looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's an interesting color scheme. I am curious to see how that plays out. Their uniforms to begin with weren't very good, but yeah, it's an understandable decision. To new stadium, you need to get a new look to try to get a heartbeat into that franchise again for once.
I think it looks kind of like a logo that you'd have on like a early morning local TV show.
Yep.
Like a Wake Up with Miami.
Yeah.
That would be the logo.
That's
and then,
not bad.
And then I think the jerseys will look like kind of the Houston Astros of the '70s with the terrible different colors in the front.
Yep.
And I think they can only go up from there.
I think it looks like the cover of a Pink Floyd album. I think it looks a lot like Dark Side of the Moon. And they can find a way, they can have fun with this. Have Money be the theme song of the Marlins because they don't make any. I mean, except from
It's
the
an ironic
MLB collective bargaining thing or whatever, and they don't really spend money because they get rid of everyone that's good, and the irony would be very thick and good.
I think we have our credit music, by the way, with the
We
money.
do.
Money?
Yeah.
Since we have ignored copyrights for years. Pink Floyd, Money is the song.
That's it.
Unofficially, yes.
All right.
Don't sue me, Roger Waters.
Coming up next, we'll turn out the lights and make you scream next year on the Sports Lounge.